right, it's that time of year again. Tax season. You know, the season of digging through receipts, staring at forms, and just crossing your fingers for a nice big refund. But you know, hiding in the shadows of all that paperwork is a really nasty kind of scammer. They prey on that exact hope for a big payday. They're called ghost tax preparers, and believe me, they cause millions in damage every single year. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain. Let's get right into what these ghosts are, and more importantly, how you can make sure they don't haunt you. So have you ever heard one of those offers that just sounds, well, a little too good to be true? Just picture this. Someone comes up to you. Maybe you see a post online, or a friend of a friend mentions them, and they hit you with this. How about a huge refund for a really low fee? I mean, a bigger refund than you've ever seen for way less than you'd usually pay a pro. It's really tempting, right? And there it is, the hook. The magic words, I'll get you the biggest refund guaranteed. A guarantee. I mean, who doesn't want to hear that? It's exactly what we're all looking for. Get the most money back, spend the least money possible. But here's the thing. That guarantee, that's almost always the first and honestly the biggest red flag that you're walking into a trap. Okay, so let's say you take the bait. What happens next? How does this incredible promise go so wrong so fast? Let's break down exactly how this scam works. This is where it gets really crazy. Look at the difference between the promise and the reality. You think you're hiring a tax whiz to help you out, to get you every penny you deserve. But what's really happening? That expert is falsifying your return. They're making up deductions, inventing tax credits. They're literally lying to the IRS using your name. And they do all this to pump up the refund so they can steal it and just vanish. Yeah, it's a playbook and it's brutally effective. Step 1, they dangle that promise of a huge refund. Step 2, they commit fraud with your information, making up whatever they need to. Step 3, this is the genius part for them. They have that massive fake refund sent directly to their bank account, not yours. And then step 4, the second that money hits their account, poof, they're gone. And that is why we call them ghosts. They operate in the shadows, they don't have a real office, they don't have any credentials you can actually check, they're not meant to be found. The minute the trouble starts, when the IRS sends a letter or you start wondering where your money is, they've already disappeared. And you're the one left to deal with the mess. Which brings us to the really painful part of all this. The ghost preparer might be gone, but that fraudulent tax return? Well, that's got your name and your social security number all over it. So let's talk about the financial fallout. And this is the absolute kicker. You are legally responsible for every single thing on your tax return. It doesn't matter if someone else prepared it. As far as the IRS is concerned, they don't know about some ghost. All they see is a bogus tax return with your name on it. So what does that actually mean? Well, the aftermath is a nightmare. First, you'll owe all those back taxes, the entire fake refund. Then you'll face steep fines and penalties on top of that. And all the while, the preparer is long gone. So you're left all alone to try and clean up this giant mess. Okay, I know this all sounds terrifying, but here's the good news. There is a surprisingly simple way to defend yourself. Seriously, it all comes down to one little thing, your one-step defense. And here it is. The hero of our story, the PTIN. That stands for Preparer Tax Identification Number. Think of it like a license plate for a tax pro. The IRS issues this unique number to every single paid tax preparer. If you prepare taxes for money, you have to have one. It's that simple. Right, so a PTIN is basically proof that your preparer is officially registered with the IRS. This is absolutely non-negotiable. A real professional will have one and give it to you. A ghost preparer won't. If they can't or won't provide a PTIN, that's your cue to turn around and walk away, fast. And this just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? A legitimate preparer will sign your tax return and put their PTIN right there on the form. They stand by their work. A ghost preparer, on the other hand, will never sign it. They'll print it out and tell you to sign and mail it, leaving the preparer spot totally blank. Why? Because they don't want to leave any fingerprints. It's their way of making sure the IRS has no idea they were ever involved. So, when it's your turn to file, just remember this. The single most important thing you can do is ask for their PTIN and make sure they sign the return as the paid preparer. That's it. That's the one move that separates a real pro from a ghost. It is, by far, your best defense. So the only question left is, do you know who's really signing your return?